Where is Philip?
He must be nervous, girl. You know how men get on the wedding day.
Can we call him again?
My child, we need to talk.
He's not coming, is he?
Philip called a few minutes ago. He said he can't, that he isn't ready for marriage.
This can't be true. He wouldn't do this to me. Not today, not like this.
Camille, love, let's get out of here. We'll talk at home calmly.
And the guests? What am I going to say to them?
I'll handle it. You don't have to face this right now.
No, they came for me. They deserve to hear it from me.
My dear friends and family, unfortunately, the wedding will not happen today. Philip has decided that he isn't ready for this commitment. I apologize to all of you for making this trip, for taking time out of your lives to be here with us.
Miss, may I speak to you for a moment?
Who is that man?
Sorry for the intrusion. My name is Anthony Silva. I would like to make a proposal to the young lady.
A proposal? Sir, this is not the moment.
Father, with all due respect, perhaps this is exactly the right moment. Mr. Camille, I know this is the worst day of your life. I know your heart is in pieces and you feel as if the world has ended. But I want you to know that sometimes when a door closes, it's because the universe is preparing a much bigger opening. I'm talking about giving the impossible a chance to happen. I'm talking about turning the worst day into a new opportunity. Camille Fisher, will you marry me?
This man is out of his mind. This is absurd. My daughter isn't going to marry a homeless man.
You're right, sir. I have nothing to offer in material terms. I don't have a luxury house, an imported car, or a fat bank account. But I have something Philip clearly didn't. I have the courage to stand here before God and all these people, willing to make a sacred promise. I have the certainty that a commitment is not something you abandon when it gets hard.
Sir.
Anthony. My name is Anthony.
Anthony, why are you doing this? You don't even know me.
Does anyone truly know the person they marry? Or do we come to know them through the journey we make together, through the challenges we face side by side?
My daughter, you don't have to make a decision now. This has been a traumatic day. Your emotions are raw.
The father is right. I don't want to pressure the young lady. I only wanted you to know you have an option, that you don't have to leave here today feeling completely rejected.
You spoke of courage. Maybe it's time I show mine. Camille! No, you can't be serious, my daughter.
Perhaps we should.
Father Henry, can you marry us now?
Miss, are you sure? Once we say yes before this altar, there's no going back. A commitment is a commitment.
I'm sure. After all, everything is already prepared. The guests are here. The church is decorated. The priest is present. Besides, something tells me you would never abandon me at the altar.
Never. Neither at the altar nor in life.
Camille, for the love of God, you've gone crazy. You can't marry this man. You don't even know who he is. Mom, today I learned that knowing someone for years doesn't mean truly knowing them. Philip proved that.
My daughter, you're in shock. You're not thinking straight. Let's go home. We'll talk calmly, and tomorrow you'll see this as madness.
Mr. John, I understand your concern. Any father would be desperate seeing his daughter make such an important decision in a moment of pain.
You don't understand anything. My daughter studied, graduated, and works at a reputable company. She's not going to throw her life away with a
bum. You can say it, sir. I'm not offended by the truth.
Mr. John, perhaps we should speak privately before.
No, we will not speak privately. If we are going to do this, we'll do it here in front of everyone. Do you want to know why I'm doing this? Because 5 minutes ago, I discovered that the man I planned to spend the rest of my life with didn't even have the courage to look me in the face to end our relationship. Philip has known me for 5 years. He knows my family, my dreams, my fears, and even so, he abandoned me at the worst possible moment. This man has known me for 5 minutes and had the courage to kneel before 300 people and make me an honest proposal.
But Camille, you can't marry out of anger or despair. Marriage is sacred.
Who said it's out of anger? Maybe it's out of faith. Faith that sometimes the universe puts us exactly where we need to be.
Miss Camille, I don't want you to marry me on impulse. I want you to know exactly what you're doing.
Then tell me, who are you, Anthony Silva? Where did you come from? Why were you in my church at the exact moment my life fell apart?
I've lived on the streets for 3 years. I lost everything I had in a series of bad decisions and circumstances that spun out of my control.
See? A homeless man. Camille, is that enough for you to wake up?
Before that, I was a university professor. I taught philosophy and classical literature at St. Mark University.
Professor? In what area?
Ancient philosophy and classical literature. I specialized in Socrates and the Stoic school. My doctoral thesis was on the nature of wisdom and virtue and adversity.
And what happened? How does a university professor end up living on the street?
Life happened, miss. My wife died of cancer. I used all our savings on her treatment. After she passed, I started drinking to forget the pain. I lost my job, I lost my home, I lost everything.
And why were you here today?
Because I come to this church every afternoon. Father Henry lets me sit in the last pew, even with how I look. It's the only place I still feel human.
It's true. Anthony has been coming here for months. He's never caused trouble, never asked for anything. He just sits and watches.
Even if all that is true, it doesn't change the fact that you have nothing to offer my daughter.
You're right, ma'am. I don't have a home, I don't have money, I don't even have a change of clean clothes, but I also don't have secret addictions, hidden debts, or a tendency to abandon commitments when things get hard. Besides, I have something many wealthy men don't. Gratitude. Gratitude for every meal, for every night with a roof over my head, for every person who treats me with dignity. If Miss Camille gives me this chance, she will never be taken for granted.
Anthony, you said a commitment is a commitment. What does that mean to you?
It means that when I say yes before God, there is no if or but. It means that in good days and bad, in wealth and poverty, in sickness and in health, I will be here. It means that problems are to be solved together, not to be run from.
And if I change my mind tomorrow? What if I wake up and realize I made a terrible mistake?
Then we'll talk like adults, like partners. But I will not run away in the middle of the night, leaving you to discover from others that our marriage is over.
Father Henry, can you marry us?
My child, this is a very emotional moment. Perhaps we should wait.
How long should I wait? A week, a month, a year to be sure I'm not making an emotional decision? Philip had 2 years of engagement to be sure. He had 5 years of a relationship to know my character and still ran. Maybe certainty isn't a matter of time, but of character.
Camille is right. I've known many couples in my life. Some knew each other for decades and divorced in the first year. Others married after a few months and stayed together for 50 years.
But Mrs. Martha, this is different. This man is
A man who had the courage to make an honest proposal when the other ran away like a coward. I saw how he spoke to Camille, how he respected her, how he treated you all even while being insulted. That says a lot about a person's character. Besides, I remember when Camille was little and told me she wanted to get married in her family church, surrounded by the people she loved. Well, she's in the family church, surrounded by the people she loves. The only thing that's changed is the groom.
Thank you, Mrs. Martha.
Father, if you allow me, I'd like to make a public confession.
Anthony, confessions are private.
This needs to be public. Miss Camille, all of you deserve to know the whole truth before any decision is made. The truth is that I didn't come here today by chance. I came because I recognized the bride's name on the wedding invitation.
How so?
3 years ago, when my wife was dying at St. Vincent Hospital, a young nurse cared for her with extraordinary dedication. She stayed past the end of her shift, talked to her when I couldn't be there, and held her hand during the searing pain. That nurse never knew it, but she gave my wife the dignity and tenderness that made her last days bearable. When I asked her name, they told me Camille Fisher. Do you remember a patient named Helen Silva?
Mrs. Helen, she was your wife?
She was, and you were an angel in her life, in our life. That's why, when I saw your name on the invitation someone dropped on the street, I knew I had to be here, not to interfere, but to witness the happiness of the woman who brought peace to my wife's final days. And when I saw you being abandoned, I knew it was time to repay the kindness you had shown us.
Perhaps this is not as impossible as it seemed.
Father Henry, please marry us.
Before we proceed with the ceremony, I need to ask a few required questions. Anthony, are you free to marry? Do you have any legal impediments?
I am free, Father. My wife Helen passed away 3 years ago, and since then I haven't been involved with anyone else.
Camille, do you confirm that your previous engagement has been officially broken?
I do. Philip made it very clear he no longer wants to marry me.
Camille, wait! I can explain everything!
Philip? What are you doing here?
Who is this man? Why are you holding hands?
This is Anthony, my future husband.
Your future husband? Camille, are you out of your mind? You can't marry a stranger. I came here to apologize, to explain why I left. Oh, now you want to explain? After humiliating my daughter in front of 300 people? Mr. John, please.
No, Philip. You had your chance. You had 5 years to be sure, 2 years of engagement to decide. You can't show up now as if nothing has happened.
Love, I panicked. I was scared, terrified of the responsibility. But I thought it over. I realized I made a terrible mistake.
Afraid? You were afraid and abandoned me at the altar. And now you show up thinking you'll find me waiting.
I know I was wrong. But we can talk. We can work this out. You can't marry this.
What, Philip? Can you finish the sentence?
This homeless man. Camille, you can't be serious. Be careful with the words you choose, especially in the house of God.
Philip, do you want to know the difference between you and Anthony?
Camille, please.
You knew me for 5 years and abandoned me when I needed you. He's known me for 2 hours and had the courage to stand by me when everyone doubted. Besides, today I discovered that Anthony is not just an honorable man. He's someone who has already been part of our story in a way you can't even imagine.
What are you talking about?
He is the Waterhan Silva, the patient I cared for at St. Vincent Hospital, the woman who died in my arms while you complained that I worked too much. He is the widower of Helen Silva, the patient I cared for at St. Vincent Hospital, the woman who died in my arms while you complained that I worked too much. So here's the irony. The man you despise for his appearance is someone I already loved through his wife. Someone who knew my dedication, my compassion, my character.
Camille, this is madness. You can't make such a decision on impulse.
Impulse? Philip, my daughter spent 5 years proving her love for you. 5 years showing she would be a devoted wife, and you threw it all away out of cowardice.
Mrs. Rose.
I haven't finished.
Mr. Philip, I understand your desperation. Losing someone special is painful, but you didn't lose Camille today. You lost her the moment you chose to run instead of fight.
You don't understand. We have history. We have plans.
We had. In the past. Today, my plans have changed.
Camille, before we proceed, you need to know something.
This was Helen's wedding band. The only valuable thing I managed to keep during these 3 years on the streets.
But there's something else. Something I didn't tell you because I didn't want to influence your decision. 3 years ago, when I lost everything, I didn't lose just my home and my job. I also lost access to an inheritance my father had left.
Inheritance?
My father was the owner of several companies before he died. When I started drinking after Helen's death, I lost not only my ability to work, but also the right to manage the family assets.
What kind of assets?
3 manufacturing companies, a logistics firm, and properties in 5 states. The inheritance was placed under court administration, waiting for me to demonstrate I was fit to manage it again.
You're rich?
I was. And I can be again if I can prove I've overcome the problems that took me to the street.
And how do you prove that?
By remaining sober for 5 consecutive years and demonstrating emotional stability. I complete 5 years next week.
You didn't tell us this earlier. Why? Unlike you, I don't use money to win people over. I wanted Camille to choose me for who I am, not for what I can offer materially.
Anthony, does this change everything?
Change? Why?
Because now I don't know if you're offering me charity or if you really want to be with me. You lost your wife. You're about to get your fortune back. And now an abandoned woman shows up at the altar. Wouldn't marrying me be a way to feel useful again?
Do you know what the first thought I had was when I saw you being abandoned?
No.
I thought, how can someone be foolish enough to abandon the woman who held my wife's hand in the most difficult moments of her life? Camille, when Helen died, I died with her. These 3 years on the streets weren't just about losing material goods. They were about losing the ability to feel, to hope, to believe anything good could happen again. Today, when I saw you at the altar, shattered but still maintaining your dignity, I felt something I hadn't felt in 3 years. Hope.
Hope of what?
That maybe I could be human again. That maybe I could honor Helen's memory by helping someone who helped me when I needed it most.
This is ridiculous, Camille. You're gonna throw away 5 years for a stranger who showed up out of nowhere.
Philip, 5 years ago you asked me out because I was pretty and well-mannered. Today, Anthony is asking me to marry him because he knows my character.
But I love you!
Do you love me? Or do you love the idea of having me? Because if you truly loved me, you wouldn't have run when things got serious. Philip, tell Camille why you really ran. Tell her about the phone call you got last night.
Beatrice, don't.
Tell her about Marianne, your ex-girlfriend, who called saying she's pregnant and that you're the father. Is it true?
Camille, I can explain.
Is it true?
Yes, but I didn't know. She called me last night saying she's 3 months pregnant.
And you thought running from our wedding would solve anything.
I panicked, I didn't know what to do.
So you preferred to humiliate me publicly rather than be honest with me?
Camille, we can do a DNA test. We can work this out.
No, we're not working anything out. You made your choice yesterday when you decided to run instead of trusting me enough to tell me the truth.
But Camille!
It's over, Philip. Definitely over. Father, can we continue with the ceremony?
My daughter, after all this, are you sure?
I am. For the first time today, I am absolutely certain of something.
Camille, you'll regret this for the rest of your life.
Mr. Philip, you're wrong. What Camille will regret for the rest of her life is wasting 5 years with someone who didn't have the courage to be honest with her in the most important moment.
And now I'm going to marry a man who had the courage to be honest with me from the first minute.
Then may God bless this union. Philip, I ask that you leave. This is a sacred ceremony. Dear brothers, we are here to celebrate the union of Camille and Anthony, a couple who teach us that true love can arise in the most unexpected moments. Dear brothers and sisters, we are here to celebrate something extraordinary. Not just the union of two people, but the testimony of how God can turn our greatest pain into our greatest blessing. Anthony Silva, do you take Camille Fisher as your wife? Do you promise to love her, respect her, and protect her in joy and in sorrow, in sickness and in health, in wealth and in poverty for all the days of your life? Father Henry, I promise not only these things. I promise to honor the generous heart that cared for my Helen when I couldn't be there. I promise to protect the courageous woman who had the strength to choose true love over social convenience. I promise to be the man she deserves. Not the rich man I may become again, but the man of integrity I choose to be every day. I take Camille as my wife, and I promise that never ever will she have reason to doubt my commitment. Camille Fisher, do you take Anthony Silva as your husband? Do you promise to love him, respect him, and support him in joy and in sorrow, in sickness and in health, in wealth and in poverty for all the days of your life?
Father, I promise more than that. I promise to honor the man who had the courage to offer me dignity when I felt despised. I promise to support someone who lost everything and still kept his humanity intact. I promise to be the wife Helen would be proud to see at your side. I promise that our union will be a tribute to the true love you shared. I take Anthony as my husband, and I promise he will never again feel alone or abandoned in this world.
Sorry to interrupt, but we couldn't miss this moment. Mark! Hello, brother.
Camille, this is my brother, Mark Silva, and that's my sister-in-law, Patricia, and my nephew, Gabriel.
Your brother? You didn't tell me you had family.
Because I didn't know if they still considered me family. When I started drinking and lost everything, they tried to help me many times, but I pushed them away. I thought they had given up on me for good.
Anthony, we never gave up on you. Never. We were just waiting for you to be ready to accept our help. How did you know?
Father Henry called us an hour ago. He told us you were getting married, that you were sober, that you seemed to have found peace again.
We've waited 3 years for this phone call, 3 years praying for our uncle to come back to us.
Mark, I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. You just needed to come back to us. And from what I can see, you brought someone very special. What a beautiful surprise. But if you allow me, we have a ceremony to finish. Please continue.
Uncle, can I be a groomsman? I know it's kind of last minute, but it would be an honor, Gabriel.
And can I be your matron of honor? I know you have your family, but of course, that would be wonderful.
By your rings, you demonstrate your mutual commitment. By the power vested in me by the church and the state, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Anthony, you may kiss your bride. I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Silva. Dear friends, I know this has been a very unusual afternoon, but I'd like to tell you something you need to know about my brother.
Mark, it's not necessary.
It is. Camille, you agreed to marry a man you consider a failure, but I want you to know who you really married. Anthony wasn't just a university professor. He was one of the most respected scholars in the country. He published dozens of articles, mentored hundreds of students, and changed the lives of everyone privileged to know him. Mark, stop. I won't stop. When Helen got sick, he sold everything he had to pay for her treatment. House, car, a lifetime of savings, everything. And when she died, he didn't start drinking out of weakness. He started because he couldn't live with the guilt of not being able to save her.
I didn't know. Anthony was always the most responsible, most dedicated, most generous brother. When he fell because he loved too much, not because he loved too little.
For 3 years, we tried to convince him he deserved forgiveness, that he deserved a second chance. Today, Camille, you did what we couldn't. You made him believe again that he deserved to be loved. That's why, on behalf of the Silva family, we want to thank you not only for accepting our Anthony, but for giving us back the extraordinary man he has always been.
Anthony, why didn't you tell me about Helen, about what you did for her?
Because I didn't want you to choose me out of pity. I wanted you to choose me for who I am today, not for who I was yesterday.
And I did choose. I chose the courageous man who had the strength to begin again. I chose the man of integrity who cared more for my heart than for social conventions.
Uncle Anthony and Camille, we have a surprise for you. This one's good. Dad, can I tell them?
Anthony, while you were away, we managed your assets with the court. All the businesses not only kept operating, they grew significantly.
What does that mean? It means that not only will Anthony regain his inheritance next week, he'll recover a fortune 3 times larger than the original.
You did this for me, even after I pushed you away?
We're family, and family doesn't abandon family.
You know, when Philip abandoned me today, I thought my life was over.
And now?
Now I realize it was just beginning.
Dear brothers and sisters, today we witness something rare. Proof that God writes straight with crooked lines, that apparent tragedies can be disguised blessings, that true love can arise in the most impossible moments. Anthony and Camille, may your union be a constant reminder that it's never too late to begin again, never impossible to forgive, and we must never underestimate the power of courage.
Him that day, what looked like the ending was a blessing beginning. One door closed, another open wide. Now Camille has true love by her side. Camille, Camille, put your hands in the sky. Anthony came and made your spirit fly. From tears at the altar to love so sweet. 2 broken hearts on a brand new.
Aunt Camille, look what Uncle Anthony taught me about Greek philosophy.
What was it this time, Gabriel?
He said Socrates taught that true wisdom comes from recognizing our ignorance, like how you two met. Nobody knew anything about anything, but you were honest about it.
Gabriel is becoming a better philosopher than I was at the university.
No, he isn't. You're a professor again, remember? St. Mark University was thrilled when you agreed to resume your classes.
Speaking of which, have you decided about the hospital's offer?
I'm thinking. It's an incredible opportunity, but also a huge responsibility.
You were born for it. I saw the care you gave Helen even without knowing who she was to me. I can only imagine how many other families you can help.
Aunt, can I tell you something?
Sure, honey.
After you got married, my dad said you saved our family, that you brought Uncle Anthony back to us.
Gabriel, I didn't save anyone. Your uncle has always been extraordinary. He just needed to remember that.
You know, love, there's something I want to show you. It arrived today, the final paperwork on the inheritance.
Anthony, this is surreal. It's tens of millions.
It's our responsibility, and I have a proposal for you.
What kind of proposal?
Camille Silva, will you start a foundation with me? A foundation for people going through what I went through, those struggling with addiction who've lost everything, families destroyed by illness, people who need a second chance.
How would it work?
Rehab centers, support for families of patients with serious illnesses, scholarships for children of people in vulnerable situations, everything we needed and didn't have at the right time.
Can I help too? Can I volunteer?
Of course you can. It'll be a family working to help other families.
Hi, everyone. I brought news. What news?
Several. First, Philip finally took the DNA test. It was positive. He really is the father of Marianne's baby. They're getting married next month. I hope he's a better husband and father than he was a fiancé. Second, your story became a case study at the psychology department.
How so?
On relationships built in moments of crisis, on how crises can reveal true character, professors are using you two as an example of changed destinies. We became study guinea pigs, inspiring guinea pigs. And the third piece of news is the best. Your dad wants to talk to you. My dad? About what? About the party that never happened. What party? The wedding reception. Remember you had 300 guests waiting at the enchanted villa? Your dad paid for everything in advance and didn't want to cancel. He wants to have a celebration now, a real party for you two, for the family, for everyone who witnessed that amazing day. I don't know. Isn't it strange to have a wedding party 3 months later? Strange was marrying a guy you met 2 hours earlier, and look how well it turned out.
I think you should do it. It'll be like a celebration of everything that happened.
What do you think?
I think it would be a way to turn something that started as tragedy into a complete celebration. Besides, it would be the perfect opportunity to announce the foundation.
All right, let's have the party, but with one condition.
What?
I want to invite special people. I want to invite some patients I care for at the hospital, people going through tough times, people who need to see there is always hope.
That's why I love you. Always thinking of others. I want to invite some of the homeless folks I met during those 3 years, people who helped me when I had nothing to offer in return.
It'll be the most special party ever, a celebration of true love and social transformation.
You know what impresses me most about our story?
What, how everything connected?
Helen led you to me, my fall led me to you, your generosity brought me back to life. It's as if every tragedy was a step towards something greater.
Remember what you said about Socrates, about recognizing our ignorance?
I remember.
Maybe true wisdom is recognizing we control nothing, but we can choose how to respond to everything.
Marital philosophy, we can create a new school of thought, the Stoic school of impulsive marriage.
The school of courageous love. You know, you've inspired a lot of people, right? How so? Since the story spread, several people have told me they stopped judging others by appearances. Mrs. Martha says she started talking to homeless people she sees around town. Your dad is treating his company's employees completely differently. Really? Really? You changed our entire community. You showed that courage can be more important than caution, that character is worth more than a bank account.
Uncle Anthony, Aunt Camille. I just talked to my dad. He wants to help with the foundation, and Mom wants to volunteer.
Hello, brother. What do you mean? Are you sure? Got it. We'll be there in 20 minutes.
What is it?
Mark says he has a surprise for us. Something related to the inheritance companies. He asked us to come to the office now.
Is it something good or bad?
He wouldn't say. He only said it would change everything we planned for the foundation.
We'll find out. Whatever it is, we face it together.
Together, always together.
Anthony, Camille.
Mark, what's going on? What I have to tell you will completely change your plans for the foundation.
Anthony, Camille, I want to introduce you to Mr. Edward Mendoza, CEO of the Mendoza Group, Dr. Sandra Lewis, president of the Living Hope Foundation, and Dr. Richard Sanders, our attorney specializing in business succession.
Mr. Anthony, during these 3 years you were absent, your family not only managed your businesses masterfully, they did something extraordinary.
What kind of something?
They transformed your companies into a social responsibility network. Each of the companies you inherited from your father now has reintegration programs, support centers for people struggling with addiction, and aid funds for families in crisis.
You did this without consulting me?
We did it thinking of you. We know your heart, Anthony. We knew that when you came back, you want to use your fortune to help others, so we moved the process forward.
Mr. Anthony, Your company's not only tripled in value over the last 3 years, they've become a national benchmark in corporate responsibility. But more importantly, we created a partnership between your companies and several charitable organizations, a network that has already helped more than 5,000 families.
5,000 families?
And that's just the beginning. With the structure that already exists and with the foundation you intend to create, we can expand that number to 50,000 families over the next 5 years.
Why did you do this? Why? You taught us that wealth without purpose is empty. When Dad died and left the companies, you always said money should serve to build, not just to accumulate.
And when you lost Helen and fell, we decided we would honor your values even in your absence. We would build the legacy you would have built if you could.
Uncle Anthony, you didn't lose 3 years. You planted 3 years. Now it's time to harvest.
Gabriel is right. Your journey on the streets, your pain, your fight to recover gave credibility to the work your family was doing. When people hear your story, they'll trust the project even more.
Exactly. A rich businessman trying to help the poor can seem like superficial charity. But a man who lost everything, lived on the street, and recovered while helping others in the same situation, that's real transformation. You need to understand you're not just another couple who got married. You become symbols of hope, of second chances, of social transformation.
That's a big responsibility.
Just standing through the shame, he said you gave my Helen peace before she passed away. Now let me stand beside you every single day. No judge by the clothes, no judge by the street. A good man's heart is what makes him complete. Camille saw the gold where the crowd saw.